Hey Taurus, so I got this message that you recently received some type of download, okay, into your subconscious mind of some sort. So there's some information that's been activated, right? And in this file, it's like a zip file, all right? You have to punch in some codes in order to access those files that have been kind of hidden even for you to be able to access it. So what they're telling me is that it would have taken someone outside of yourself to pretty much put in the combination or put in the code to unzip this file. So, which is telling me that upon incarnating, the information that is like a source code inside of your subconscious mind, it already came pre-programmed for a two-person mission. So your particular source code is programmed with a two-person mission, which means that you and someone else is required to perform certain shamanic rituals on each other, or certain, yes, that's what I'm gonna call it, shamanic rituals on each other, in order for you both to assist or facilitate each other in putting in the information while the other person is under some type of sleep, okay? Hypnosis, meditation. Whoever your counterpart is, they possess the source code. They possess the key to the source code to put that key in and unlock these encrypted source code files. All right. So that's the way that spirit gave me the vision. And that's what we're pretty much tapped into. If you guys are new, welcome to our love nest over here on Talk Taurus Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back. Yes, this was done to prevent certain people or outside influences from being able to receive those divine messages, okay, those universal messages without permission. So anyone else trying to access that information, like trying to tap into your subconscious realm, if they're not authorized to be there, it would pretty much push, it would push them out. They wouldn't be able to unlock that file. They wouldn't be able to access that information. It would pretty much be like access denied. All right. Now, why isn't my camera focusing? Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, it would be like access denied. So certain people, places, and things wouldn't be able to access this. Not just anyone can unlock this type of love, because it's on a certain vibration. So it's like doing a lot of shadow work and doing a lot of healing allows you to ascend and really leave the constructs of your physical body. All right. So this is giving me traveler energy as well. Birds, free spirited people possess this source code. So your ascension, your ability to ascend is like you've made it for lifetimes. Okay. Like swans. Okay. That's what they're telling me. So it's like, you guys come in pairs here is what I'm seeing. Okay. Whatever this process is that you are currently going through right now, it's supposed to allow you and someone else, you and your counterpart, to move as one. Okay. Where there's no secrets, there's no fears, there's no apprehensions. You guys move as one whole heart, not fragmented, not pieces, but as one. But in order for you to know that that's the one, you have to go through certain initiations, certain experiences. That is rites of passage, is pretty much what they're showing it to me. All right. So there's a lot of gifts and abilities that you both possess, you and your divine counterpart. And it's like every time you're about to integrate your shadow, Every time you're about to completely upload this information into your consciousness, all right, where now you're aware of it, now you have all the messages, now you remember your source code, now you remember what you came here for, now you remember your destiny, something keeps interrupting the uploading process. It's like it gets to 75%, 80% uploaded. The file is almost open. You're almost aware of it. And then something comes and makes you afraid. All right. And they're showing me this fear comes in the form of distractions, like people, environment, right? So if you're in an environment where it's hostile, you're not going to feel safe to integrate. Let that part of you really blossom and let it bloom. All right. So this is going to be especially for my Tauruses where it's like you're currently facing some type of fears. You're currently tracking down fears, phobias. You're currently in the process of overcoming those fears and those phobias, whether it's in regards to love. Some of you guys, it's in regards to your security, your self-esteem. Others of you, it's in regards to your stability, right? Your security and your stability around your foundation, your home, and your finances. For others of you, it's your procrastination, your confidence, and you feeling reassured. And then Spirit's also showing me the spirit of suspicion, and all of that is being triggered by some type of environment that you're currently in, which perpetuates an insecurity. It starts off as an insecurity. You're not sure if you feel safe, and then you start to want to not let this, keep up with it. It's like you want to run away from it. You're like, it hurts. It starts to feel like a hurting. Okay, there's something about your memory, your foresight, your ability to see for a period of your life was taken. Yeah, I heard a ding on my phone. It was taken so you wouldn't have to bear the pain of knowing and going through the suffering at the same time. Oh, I almost want to cry just saying that shit. Yeah, it has something to do with that master teacher journey, right? Imagine if you came to earth and you knew that you were going to be sacrificed or traumatized or done a certain type of way. It's one thing to also know, or to be able to see that ending, or be able to see that experience. Okay. But you're still that earth angel. You're still that messenger. And so whatever message you came to deliver, whatever purpose you came to facilitate, it's going to happen when you were 7, 8. You could have had a crossover moment where you had a near life death experience, right? And you touched source consciousness, and you were given that prophecy, or you were given that inclination of that, you're not the only one, but that you possess great abilities, great gifts, and you would perform many wonders, just like that Christ consciousness journey, right? But what she's telling me is your foresight was taken at a period of time, and you would experience great pain and love the people that you love, and you would experience a great crucifix of some sort. Many of you have cried at just watching the depiction of how Christ was done, or how good people in general are done. It's a heavy burden or cross to bear to witness that type of suffering, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot. But whenever this file uploads completely at 100% capacity, you'll remember everything. But it's important that you unlock this file yourself. It's important that you remember this yourself, and that you're the person that opens this letter from source. You're the person that opens this divine message. It's also going to be the liberation that allows you to open up to other people. It's going to be the breakthrough that you have that allows you to recommit to your journey in a different way, in a from a master teacher's perspective. Okay. There's something coming up, especially with past life triggers, past life memories, past life triggers. These are some blockages that are also being removed during this time. So they don't want you to be alarmed. If you're at a distance and you feel like, why is it taking so long? Why is it so hard? I found my person. I know who they are, and things like that. Spirit wants you to know that it's important that it happens in divine timing at a particular pace. So this way, think of the brain like software. You don't want it to crash. You don't want it to overheat. You don't want it to implode on itself, right? So this is the reason why Spirits is saying these things have to happen at certain major events and different things like that. And it's like the environment of the event, the people certain there. There's this deja vu moment. There's this big bang that happens, that everything comes at once, and it's the proper environment, a suitable situation. It has to be like a tale as old as time type of significance is what they're saying. And that student will have an awakening, that person that's unlocking the message, uncovering the stories of themselves, uncovering who they are. It will happen, and they'll know in a way that is, and you see how this is still depicting like clouds in the sky. So you know how memory is stored in the clouds, right? The phones depict the same type of uploading and downloading. Oh, it's in the clouds. So it's still there. It's not lost. But every experience, 7, 8, 9, okay? Every conquering experience that a person goes through, every fear that they overcome, every doubt that they persevere over, they're doing it at a pace that's not like, oh, they're just being lazy and they don't want to do the work. No, it's at a pace that the divine creates for the student. You see what I'm saying? So you have to have the patience now for the student to catch on in its lightning way, because the student is also running on its own divine ordinance. Okay. And sometimes when we can love someone so much to the point where we just want to tell them and they remember and everything happens perfectly. And it's just, more controlled, really. It's like, I just want to get it out the way and just say it. Can I just say that I believe this and X, Y, and Z? Yes, you can. But the process of the journey is still necessary. The grace for the journey is still necessary. So even having that grace for yourself and your person, there are certain things that certain tests on this journey that the student has to overcome, has to persevere over, has to, write their signature. They still have to sign on the dotted lines. You know what I mean? They have to pay for it. And even if you feel like, oh, well, I want to help them avoid making the wrong cost or making the wrong decision, they don't have to pay for it in this way. What Spirit is asking for the teacher in this situation to know is the price you may perceive to be a debt is stemming from your own fear of how it's ended before. So let's say, for example, in the past life as the teacher, you watched the person that you discovered or the person that you were helping to develop their gifts and different things like that. You watched them have great deaths or demise in different areas or different ways. And you've always been a day late or too short in those lives. And you remember all those things and you want to avoid a particular type of ending. So now the cross is on your back, and now the cross is on your shoulders, and it's like a race for time to beat fate, right? Right. So in this situation, there has to be another way, right? There has to be another way. We have true love. Healing energy, healing energy. Because you see here, she is looking at herself. You have to remember 5, when things get chaotic and you feel unsure about something, you have the ability to not allow those thoughts to make you doubt. You can look yourself in the mirror and send love to your true love. You can send healing energy to your true love. You can share your energy with yourself, because in spirit, you're already whole. It's only in the 3D, in the in-between, where you feel as if there's a split or a distance between the both of you. So what you're learning at this period of time is how to communicate to each other from the heart space, how to utilize that portal more productively, okay? Because at times you both will pull on each other's heartstrings and you need each other. And when that call isn't answered at a particular time, you both go through these periods of, well, what if that person is playing with me? What if that person is toying with my feelings? Who's weaker? Who's stronger? So you go through this battling this dragon, battling this conjured up fear, this conjured up worry, this conjured up dark thought. And the dark thought is only a chaos energy that comes in the presence of you both. The closer that you get to each other, the more the chaos energy is conjured up. So think of it like a portal, right? The more you utilize that portal, the more the timeline changes, the more things change, the more you use that portal. So it's like, let's say, for example, you're learning to use the portal, and the 4 of energy is pretty much saying you're stronger together than you are apart. You're stronger moving as one than you are doubting one another. You're stronger believing in each other than you are wasting time doubting that the other person feels the way that they feel. So when you feel those emotions, you can send a smile. You can send a frequency that's a lot lighter, and it instantly changes the vibration and creates clear skies versus distorted messages. So this is really learning how to fly as one, even at a distance, right? Distance is the major thing for you and this counterpart energy. You're blocked by, you went from being blocked by space and time, and now you're blocked by miles. You know how anxious that can feel to know that you're only miles apart? Miles. When you were once years in space apart, and now you're only miles apart. And so the closer and closer that it gets, the more in chaos, the closer and closer that the miles begin. So let's say you're at 2,000 miles from each other, hypothetically speaking. The closer and closer you move together, or you are even if this is coming to see each other, it is literally, the miles are decreasing, right? There's less miles in that 2,000 total. There's going to be a series of events that play out, and it's going to feel like all the odds are stacked up against you, and it's going to be chaotic and it's going to be manic, but you got to keep moving and you got to keep your feet moving. And when you have those feelings of apprehension, it never serves to point those fingers back at each other. Your karmic relationships taught you that pointing the finger at each other is, nobody wins when you have that feud against each other. You and this person are the only family that technically exists. Straight up. So when you doubt yourself, you doubt your partner. You understand? And that's why it's that integration process and trusting that process and going with it and utilizing that cord to pretty much remind yourself that it don't matter what it looked like around me in the world. I would never sow a negative emotion into that portal, because it's the hardest thing to take out. The hardest thing to take out. When you allow your mind to send a negative message that doesn't coexist with how your heart truly feels about that person, you send all of that toxin directly to the person that you love. They only absorb all of those dark emotions. And so the very person that you love now becomes full of confusion. Their mind and their heart are now in conflict. Because why would someone that loved them utilize their time to push, to send a thought? Okay, this is a portal, to send to send a thought of upset and anger to that heart space portal. This is what the master teachers are here to teach the both of you. Despite the tomatoes that was thrown at Christ, despite the people that spit on Christ, despite every person that Christ ever helped turning on Christ, he didn't sow his heart with hatred for the very people he was choosing to love. So the same concept as a master teacher in learning about this and integrating with that love, it's one of the building blocks that you have to master. And that is why the self-love journey is so important. That is why the SOS call is so important. Okay? Because when things get chaotic, it isn't, oh, this is happening to me and woe is me. It's really a matter of just send the thought of love. Just send the thought of healing. The thought of, you know what I'm saying? Peace. It's not in closing your heart, or I'm going to close my heart off. That person don't deserve my love anymore, and all those different things. And then you cut that person off cold turkey is the hardest thing that you can do to someone. It's like the hardest way to treat yourself. And if you're treating yourself like that, you're treating your person like that. If you detach yourself emotionally after creating that spark or creating that cord, you really, you're counterproductive to any person that is connected to you at the heart chakra, at the core of that heart divine love. So for a long time, there are so many divine counterparts and twin flame relationships that are ascending or working really hard to close out that, to close that gap, fill that void, and become the shamans and walk with the master teachers. And in order to do that, this is something you guys have to learn, how to overcome obstacles together rather than against each other. How to communicate, all right, from a divine level. When you feel as if the communication in the 3D level is off or misunderstanding, it doesn't require the cold heart chakra that once was sitting there, that once was there. It just doesn't. Because I feel like that's what they're saying with these messages, curiosity, signs. And again, we have another clouds here. So spirit is really bringing that in. All right, because ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when you guys are going for each other. There's no love. You ain't going to find love nowhere else where you found it in each other. And that's just on period. So you could sit there and be all in your, well, I found love one time. I think I could do it again. Or I think I could go find it somewhere else. You're not gonna be able to resolve that feeling that you feel with that person by going and trying to get up under another person, by trying to just numb your feelings. Okay? That's pretty much what spirit is saying. Your love is too pure. Your love is too divine. And all you would be doing would be creating more voids for yourself. So the aspiration that you feel, the lack of desire that you feel to get up and put yourself out there and feel hopeful about love again, it's stemming from, it goes back to the way in which you communicate with that source code, which is your heart chakra. It goes back to that. When you experience it goes back to pretty much asking yourself, like, yes, I'm aware that this experience is here, but many of you that are going to watch this video, despite what you've gone through in an emotional way, you've never let that turn your heart cold. How can I say this? Maybe you've been cold a period of time or two, yes. But at the core of it, God knows your heart. And you have not been the type of person to allow yourself to become a monster. Okay, let me take that back. Seriously, yes, you have. All right, bruh. Give me the words then. Okay, so you've pretty much never, you may have behaved that way, which is a behavioral response, but your heart isn't dark. You understand? There's a certain level of darkness, and yes, it can be rehabilitated, but you that I'm speaking to, you have insecurity issues because of the way people talk to you before growing up or whatever. You have struggles with stability because of the rug being ripped up underneath you. You have fears that go beyond this lifetime. So those are normal emotions. You're a walking, crying person. You have feelings. A lot of you may even cry when you get mad because you hate that you have to even get mad. You see how that's not even really a evil person? You're not evil. So to not lean into your heart space, to not lean into your greatest strength, and to allow your ego, your mind, just toss thoughts around and you run with that, it doesn't even really truly resonate with how you aspire to love. So why adopt those types of traits? Who gave you that? Did you get it online, listening to other people that told you, oh, this person's playing with you, or this is how you do that? All of that is ego. All of that is ego based. And it's designed to have you self-sabotage yourself and what you have discovered. And so a lot of times the way this chaos energy works, it'll get you to turn on yourselves. It'll get you to turn on each other. And it'll get you to look at you see how, like, you know what? Love ain't meant for me. You know what? It's never going to happen for me. You know what? What's the point? It's intended to create that chaos where you lose your sight, but you never lose the 5D. Even if the 3D doesn't look like it's perfect, you never lose the 5D. And I'm only speaking to connections where, like I said, master teacher, the Hierophant. You see what I'm saying? You may be standing in between an obstacle. All right? But one thing's for certain, you possess the keys. Like I told you, it's the two of you. There's always two of you. Checks and balance. Okay? You both are a pillar for that higher consciousness. You are the access point. You are the access point of that door, that portal, that heart chakra portal, which connects you to a higher source. So with each other, you possess the other key to the other person. Yeah. And that's where the spiritual union comes from. That's where the spiritual union comes from. And it's through the experiences that you guys learn through together that makes you a stronger pillar together. All right. You get to laugh about it. Imagine being able to talk about and learn each other and discover things about each other. Those are the things that helps you really know who you're talking to. So you got to open up to each other, right? You have to be vulnerable. The absence of vulnerability is what? Detachment. And where there's detachment, chaos can emerge. And anything can alter the state of consciousness or awareness in either one of you. So you have to be intentional with how you receive messages or how you receive, information. Told you. What I told you. You have the devil. Triggered. You have to learn how to master your triggers. Look at that. You have 3 cards talking about love. Someone else taught you that if a person behaves a certain type of way, you punish them. That's that devil energy of punishment for a person not responding how you want them to responding when you want them to respond, never asking critical questions, not being the investigator of the matter and just responding. It comes from a trigger state of being, the lover's energy. That's not unconditional love. It comes from a possessive trait. The 3D is the devil. And so it's going to take you having to relearn how to respond to every situation so you don't start to gaslight, become penny pitching, or try to hurt someone by making them feel beneath you. This is where your integrity gets tested. This is where your heart gets tested. This is where the scales come in, and this is where spirit judges based off of how you treat a person. How do you know that your emotional response to yourself, because really you're treating yourself like that. So every time you treat yourself like that, spirits has to judge you based off of your heart, and they can't even get to the other person because they're still judging your intentions. They're still judging how you went about the situation. Was that a triggered response or was that love? Did you speak ill will without words? Did you speak ill intentions? Did you intentionally respond in a particular type of way so that other person can feel? Okay? This is saying, I give you my pain. I want you to have my pain. Share that with me because I'm mad. Which is a tantrum. But it also depicts something even more deeper at how you love yourself, how you speak to yourself. And that also, that disciplinary response to another person stems from feeling out of control of another person's actions, of another person's choices. And the Page of Pentacles, it becomes like, damn, I hurt the very person that I love, or I stopped giving. The Page of Pentacles is like, the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, that becomes breadcrumbing. With the devil and the King of Swords in reverse, that becomes intentional breadcrumbing. And spiritually, etherically, what will it do? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That's not love. It triggers suspicion behavior. It triggers suspicious behavior. And then the other person will become automatically insecure. Because now there's there's question of integrity, right? Who are you? Why would you do something like that? So I feel like whether this is you, I mean, you guys know your situations better than anything, but Spirit is saying how you handle each other. You have to become aware. If you are not aware, Spirit is making you aware that whatever you feel like is not moving in the way in which you want it to move, it stems directly from control issues. This is the type of shit that you do when you take your kids video games because they don't do their chores, or you were expecting them to have certain things done by a certain time and they didn't have it done. So now you are the sole chastiser. And parents do this all the time, where you will have to earn it. Six of Pentacles. Now I have the power to give you what you want or take it away. It's still the oppressor's way of doing things. How many times has the universe, has God blessed you and giving you opportunities and done for you despite how hard-headed your ass is? Even to this day, the way that Christ has loved humanity has never been in this way. And that's just a fact. Yes, incarnating in this dimension, the rulers of oppression, the Capricorn energy that rules the third order, the third realm, has it designed this way. But that wasn't God's way. That wasn't a higher source's way. That wasn't the Hierophant's way. That wasn't so master teachers have gone through this journey, ascended to a state of mastery to be the examples. Earth angels have gone through shit to be beacons of light, so others can see that there's the opposite. Even in a realm where everything looks the same, you now have a image, okay, and made in the flesh as a representative of God's love. So when you respond to situations and you feel as if you're taking it upon yourself to indirectly, spiritually make someone else feel your pain from the inside out, that's another level of cold. That's what Spirit is pretty much saying. That's cold. Even if you're talking to yourself like that, even if you're looking at yourself like that, how do you expect your angels and your spirit guides to be telling you you're worthy, you're brilliant, affirming all this positive love into you, just to find yourself in a situation where the very person that 1 minute could be so in love with you that when you do something that they feel like hurts them, then they be like, to hell with you. I want you to hurt too. That's what spite feels like. That's what vengeance feels like. And it's something that can go on for centuries. And nobody wins. Because the pride becomes too big to even admit that you even did any of this. So now Spirit's going to bring you with and say, okay, you come here. Was it not your intentions to when you discovered that you love this person? Was it not your intention? Did you not say, I want to love this person unconditionally? I want a higher vibrational love. I want to be different. I want to love a person the way God loves me and so forth. Did you not say all of those things? Because that's what it's showing me, that you said all those things. And at the very instance of you feeling insecure or feeling like the Page of Pentacles. Spirit, what happened with the Page of Pentacles? What happened with the Page of Pentacles? Bully. So this is pretty much saying you were embarrassed. Page of Pentacles. You felt hurt. Okay. You felt like your ego was hit. You took an ego hit. Clarify that. Why is the King of Swords you weren't okay with something? Why is the King of Swords in reverse? It's like saying your pride was hit. Go. Okay, so this is saying that the Page of Pentacles felt like somebody was boasting about being able to talk to you. Take it how it resonates. One of you guys were boasting about somebody became suspicious. Like, oh, this person is probably getting off on the fact that I'm communicating to them or that I'm trying to talk to them, and they are put, like, this is that type of energy where people assume that they were left on red intentionally, and that it was a way to have someone chasing and this runner chaser energy. So from feeling that emotion or feeling suspicious of that, this is pretty much saying that somebody here retaliated, all right, with this gold energy, and was like, yeah, okay, well, let's see how they like it, triggered. That's what that trigger is. Clarify this. Evidence. Ooh. So this entire situation is under investigation. Because whichever one of you, well, we got a mess on aisle 7. That's what I'm seeing here. There's a mess. Student. Because I feel like whoever's a student in this situation, you are someone that the student in this situation is someone that is learning about red flags, learning about a lot of different things. Okay. Value, this self-love journey. And stuff like that. Clarify this 7 of Swords. Oh, wow. Somebody is testing you. 7 of Swords. Spirit is testing you. Okay. I really feel like deeper than this with the messages in reverse. Like, let's say you go a while without whatever your spiritual practices are. You go a while without having that direct communication. If you miss a couple of days or you're not really on your spiritual journey, the way in which you normally are, and you've had some time away from your own spiritual practices, you are susceptible to outside influences. You're susceptible to anybody, right? So I feel like your suspicion raises, and you start to wonder if someone is getting over on you, if someone is playing you, and things like that. Typical insecurity things. Those are typical insecurity triggers. When you respond to certain situations, some people respond where they're like, okay, well, I got my inclination, or I got my confirmation that this was suspicious behavior. However, messages from the feather is in reverse. So this did not come from a higher power. This was someone feeling emotionally triggered by something that physically happened, and receiving confirmation or proof from the devil. The devil is a pattern. It is a trait. It is chaos. It is that voice on the side of you was like, yeah, you know exactly what this is. And then responding in that way. That didn't come from a higher power, because a higher power would have come from, so someone had an angel and a demon, yeah, God and the devil, take it how it resonates, one on both sides, talking to them. And whoever this person is, they chose to make a decision and respond to a situation, not of the light, but of the dark. And I do feel like this is someone that's been practicing how to integrate their shadow. But with the feathers and messages in reverse, they chose violence and not peace. They chose hate and not love. They chose triggers. All right. Over the nanas. And what we have in this situation is there has been a mirroring effect here. Six of Pentacles. I want you to acknowledge and I want you to recognize that this bothered me, but it's very passive aggressive. It's very indirect, and someone is like wanting you to come to them and pretty much make it better. Make it better. Seven of Swords. Offer me something that makes it better. Tell me something that I want to hear. Stroke their ego. Their ego. Their ego. And your spiritual team is saying that's not an act of love. That's the person acting. That's a sign that this person is treating you in a very bad way. That's not love. That's a familiar pattern that they watched someone else do. It's a familiar pattern of behavior. And you've evolved too much on your journey to allow anyone, I don't care who it is, at all, ever, to make you feel less confident than what you are, make you feel insecure, to make you feel like you're worthless. No. So your spiritual team is like, no, we don't support that under no circumstances. And again, that is the objective of obstacles coming along the way. Not maintaining your spiritual practices with eternal love. You want to go the distance? Now imagine if this person was to be tit for tat. Let's just hypothetically talk about this for a second. Imagine if this person was to go tit for tat and say, okay, you felt triggered, you hurt me, and I'm going to hurt you right back. Where would any of us get on this journey? Where would anybody get on this journey? How would that be productive to anyone? It wouldn't. Right? But this is telling me that this is intentional. To prove to oneself that this is something that was happening. This is also telling me that this is intentional to test another person's level of commitment. But that's not love. And that's what Spirit is saying here. That's not love. That's a sign. You see, love is in reverse. Okay? The sunlight ain't shining there. Hold on a second. So, vow. We have fright, depression, phobia, paranoid, sweet dreams. I feel like what's about to happen is someone is going to try to turn the page without addressing the elephant in the room. Shift back into high vibrational energy and just keep it to themselves. But what I need you to understand here is that the energy has already been transferred. You know how you say the portal? So the apprehension that you feel, the connection, that link has already been made. The portal has already been opened. And the emotional transfer, Six of Pentacles, of whatever this person, whatever their worst fears were, their worst emotions were, it was sent. Okay, Six of Pentacles. And so this is like, with the seven of swords, it's like coming back. This is like Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. Just to reinvest like nothing ever happened. All right. And the Seven of Swords is saying pretty much this is the beginning. This is where it starts. Where a person doesn't assume accountability and really confront like, hey, I was wondering if this was X, Y, and Z. This is something that I was suspicious about. I responded in this way. I'm not sure if that's what you were trying to do. This is a test of communication. This is a test of opening your mouth and asking critical questions. And just if you are wondering something, it's better to ask that person than to speculate and come up with your own narrative and then allow that to fester and then you respond in a certain type of way. Now, this is pretty much saying that if you are the type of person that have that believes that, oh, they won't believe me anyway, so I might as well just not even bring it up, then you're again taking on that responsibility and pretty much not allowing until you finished it, you finished the test still runs, the simulation still runs. So if you want to close the chapter and open a new one, you have to properly address one elephant in the room at a time. And then the next opportunity, you have opportunities to do it differently other times. You see what I'm saying? That's how you learn people. That's how you get to know each other. That's how you rehabilitate back into humanity. So yes, you're going to have trial and error. Yes, you're going to have mistakes. But no accountability? Nah, that's unacceptable. So this is a test. This is a test that this is a test of facing your fears. Cause I'm hearing that song. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Mm, mm, mm. I know. I don't know what that song. If the song resonates with anyone, it's an old song. Let's see here. So to clarify this here. Persuasion. The Two of Wands in reverse. Okay, clarify the Seven of Swords. The Four of Wands in reverse. All right, so right now, someone is feeling as if there's no coming back from something. Okay. There's some regrets around a choice. There's no coming back from something. This is someone's feelings, which means this is what someone's feeling on the inside as far as like how enthused they feel about overcoming a problem or a situation. This is also someone else's test to overcome. Only they can overcome it, okay? Only they can turn the wheel in the positive direction. Only they can move things in a way where, you know, this has to be their choice. They can either persevere over this familiar pattern or they can repeat it. So, let's see. Let's go back a little bit. The evidence. The Seven of Cups. You know what the crazy part about it is? This intention literally gets this person to emotionally do something a certain way, emotionally respond in a particular type of way, and then removes the smoke screens and the rose-colored glasses immediately after the energy gets this person to act out of fear, and then the person's like, "Wow, King of Swords. I really responded to this situation prematurely." Okay. Four of Pentacles. This person held a temporary grudge here. Okay, I feel like somebody was feeling sad and started to like fumigate on something being intentional. So it was like, I'm going to reject you. Well, I'll reject you before you can reject me, or I'll make you feel rejected before I feel rejected. You know, it was very immature. Yeah, the Emperor. And that type of like flipping it on someone, it's kind of like, oh, wow. So the masculine in this situation is the person that did this. All right, I'm seeing a feminine in this situation, Six of Pentacles in reverse. They're currently sitting on, I feel like there's, take this out resident. I don't know if you're masculine or feminine, but the two King of Swords energy with the Emperor over here is telling me this is masculine energy that recently has done this. Okay. Feminine energy, Six of Pentacles, is now being made aware, is spiritually being made aware of the intention that was sent their way. They're discovering that this intention has become a bigger obstacle to get over because of the intentions, because of being aware of the underlying intentions behind it. And I feel like this may be a situation where words were never even fucking said. None of that was probably said. No communication really happened here. This is all intuitively. The High Priestess. So the Six of Pentacles in reverse is pretty much saying this High Priestess energy is saying, I'm not going to hurt people. I'm not going to hurt you the way you hurt me. I'm not going to give you the hate that was given to me. That's not love. In this type of situation, what is this High Priestess to do? Retaliate? What's this feminine to do? Retaliate? No. Eight of Cups. Why would she retaliate? Why would this feminine retaliate like that? This is clearly a red flag, and she's emotionally detaching herself from any behavioral patterns like this. Nine of Wands in reverse. I feel like there's no need to resent anyone with the Nine of Wands in reverse. There's no need to sit here and add another tally mark and say, oh, this is just one more bad experience. No, I feel like this High Priestess has come very far on their journey to know that what you subscribe to, you become. What you agree with, you do. And if you don't agree with a certain type of behavior pattern or any of those things, you don't have to become suspicious about it. You don't have to become malicious. You don't have to become petty. You don't have to have any of those things. Pack up your feelings, because your higher self is always going to tell you you do not deserve this. You deserve better than to be treated like that. I don't care what the circumstances look like. The Two of Cups in reverse, because this is where it starts. This is where it starts. You make excuses for people's behaviors. You make excuses for people's patterns. And then the only thing that happens is they do it over and over and over again. Three of Pentacles in reverse. You can't build a solid foundation like that. Ace of Cups. Never stop pouring into yourself. Never stop loving yourself. And never get to a point in your journey where you feel like you have to be guarded and defensive because you've gone through this pattern time and time again. But if you know you've mastered playing this type of games and going back and forth with people and tit for tat, don't engage. All right? I don't see you engaging at all and being tit for tat. I feel like you wish it didn't have to be this way. Someone owes you an apology. The Ace of Cups here. Someone owes you an apology. Like it's divinely guided that an apology is a must. Yes. The King and Queen of Swords. Yes, in order to move on from this situation, an apology is required. And on top of apology, the guards have to come down. all of these guards, the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Swords, they must come down. And that's exactly what's happening here. All right. So divine feminine, y'all know y'all worth. Take it how it resonates. For any of you dealing with this type of situation in any capacity, your spiritual team is requiring the both of you, both masculine and feminine, to uphold the highest vibration of love at all times. Even if that means you have to walk away from a situation, even if that means that you have to literally remove yourself from a situation, no matter how many times is necessary. And for those of you where you have repeat offenders or you have people that are unable to get it, it's not your job to sit there and mother anybody or father anybody or try to tell someone where they went wrong. If they're unable to acknowledge it for themselves and find that personal relationship with a higher power of how they should handle you, then let them learn at their own pace. But to go 6 of Pentacles back and forth with somebody, oh, you did this to me, I did that to you, and da 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 da. No, you cut that snake off at the head. You cut that confusion off at the head. You do not engage with that type of shit. And that's what your spiritual team is saying. Let's get your closing message. All right, speak your mind. Because the only thing that, with the Queen of Swords in reverse, this is pretty much saying that if you, hypothetically speaking, right, if you didn't honor yourself, the Queen of Swords, the only thing you can create with that is more pain. You understand? If someone gives you their pain and they're walking away feeling better, all you have inside of you is pain. So what are you going to do with all that pain? Look at that. We have affirmation for healing the heart. What can you create with pain except destruction, right? Affirmation for acceptance. And then you have accept love. Yeah. So this is required, okay? So we have affirmation of healing the heart. We have affirmation for acceptance. And then we have accept love. So bottom line, anyone having a problem with the way in which you love yourself and how you choose to love yourself and make time for yourself is not love. If they have a problem with you dedicating to yourself and pouring goodness inside of you so that way you can continue overpouring to other people, then they want you to self-sacrifice yourself. And that's not love. And again, the person that loves you will see this, course direct, okay? They will accept your practices. They will accept the time that you need, and they won't bring pain into your life. They won't bring hurt into your life. And if they do, they will quickly course direct, okay? And work on grounding themselves and handle it differently. You know, like I said, I can see here that with the 6 of Pentacles, I just want to encourage you, Taurus, because I feel like with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, this is telling me that in fate here, you've dealt with a fated type of gesture, okay, of 6 of Pentacles, of being treated in a way where loving has always come at a risk, okay? The assumption that you are a hard person, or oh, you have a big ego, all those different things are all assumptions, okay? But again, the chaos starts somewhere, and it always starts with the miscommunication, the inability to say, hey, this is what I feel, this is what Is this what this is? And then at the same time, you know, lean into your own understanding. Sometimes you gotta take a shower so you can shift your energy. Sometimes you gotta take a moment, go ground yourself so you can get clear on something. But it's like, again, unresolved pain, you only create more pain from that. So this is like healing the heart, and accepting that, you know, yes, it happens. Let's move past that, okay? And then you're able to continue creating and crafting love, because you have the ten of cups here, okay? I hope you get what I'm saying, because I do see this energy of, like, you guys, Six of Pentacles, of being weary. Like, I know you may be weary. I know you may be weary because you've dealt with a lot of different things. But being weary is not an invitation to assume that every person is going to do the same thing to you. And that's just the truth. All right, closing messages for Taurus. Sorry, what's the closing message for Taurus? All right, so we have always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. One more card. We have protection. You are master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm, and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. All right. I love you, Taurus, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.